Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Time to talk, as I said before, about pulsating Paekakariki. Could be pumping, could be pirouetting, anything could happen at Paekakariki. And my very great pleasure to welcome to the program, just like the good old days, Janet Holborow. Good morning to you.
Good morning, John.
Lovely to talk to you.
With you.
And to you as well. And, of course, lots of things happening in entertainment. I understand you attended part of the community board meeting. And that's an interesting board this time around, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. It was a fantastic meeting. Lots of people there.
Yeah.
A really busy public speaking time. Probably the most important thing in public speaking was a presentation by the surf club about their move and their possible new building, which is very exciting. So they did a bit of an audit on their building because it needed a bit of work, and it turned out that it was probably going to be cheaper to pull it down and rebuild it, and that has timed in quite nicely. I mean, it's been going on for some years, but it's got to the point now where it's timing in quite nicely with the Greater Wellington Regional Council's managed retreat, where they wanted to move things away from the sea anyway. They recently lost their boat ramp, so the sea is coming in there. And then there's a dune behind. Shouldn't really build on the dune, so it'll be behind the dune.
It's the first time I've heard a councillor mention managed retreat for a very long time.
Well, we should be mentioning it a lot more.
I think so. I think so. We're going to have to get real.
Some kind of coordinated approach, probably at a national level, to see how we're going to deal with managed retreat across the country. But in the meantime, Greater Wellington Regional Council are in a really good position to be at the forefront because they're having to move a surf club, the odd toilet. We've lost the bridge. That was quite upsetting.
Yes,
that was a bit of a wake-up call. Not everything's going to be able to be replaced. And, some walking tracks have had to be moved inland, and that's going pretty well. And then, there's a kind of coordinated approach. But it's a lot harder when you're talking roads, pipes. Pipes are the big one. If you look at the cost of infrastructure across the country that's at risk, by far the biggest cost is actually underground infrastructure, your pipes, your three waters. So, and then the roads that sit on top, that's what you see, that's what you get worried about, but actually they pale, the cost of that pales in comparison to water infrastructure, which is the big cost across the country in terms of managed retreat. In terms of public infrastructure, anyway, of course there's private property as well and buildings and
there's so much. It's absolutely enormous. And, of course, we do have a conference coming up, I think it's early in March, isn't it, about the coastline, and I understand that James Renwick and others will be talking to that. So perhaps we'll be talking more about this very important subject. But there must be some nice, fizzy entertainment things happening. Let's divert ourselves on this Wednesday on Beach FM.
Well, before we divert, there will be some entertainment at our Climate Hui.
Oh, really?
Which is in Otaki at Ngā Purapura. So the idea is not to start, with a huge, very long discussion. So we've got some amazing speakers, and that'll happen in the morning, and there'll be some serious discussions. There'll also be some workshops and discussions in the afternoon, but also interactive, family-friendly activities. Trying to bring the whole community into the conversation, and not be too serious, It's a serious conversation, but,
I had no idea.
It'll be a fun climate change day out for the whole family.
Well, in all due deference to our listeners, I certainly hope I'm not working that day. I'd love to turn up and attend it. As you know, I've been doing a little bit too much recently. However, I think it's on the 3rd of March from memory, isn't it?
3rd of March, yeah.
Right. So we'll talk more about that. And now I want to talk about the Crimson Club. I was going to see if I could track you down on Friday to have a chat about this, because I understand that the Crimson Club have reunited, and it's going to be proved shortly.
Yes, so that's on Friday night. A certain familiar person might be seen playing the cello and the kick drum at the same time.
At the same time?
Yes, so the Crimson Club, it's a trio, and we play a mixture of French cabaret songs and irreverent takes on Kiwi classics and all sorts of different kind of musical material, but with a kind of comedy bent,
Yes.
and on a whole lot of instruments all at once, played by 3 people. So it's something you wouldn't hear anywhere else, and it's at 8 o'clock on. The show starts at 8 o'clock, doors at 7:30 on Friday night at St Peter's, and we're really pleased to have Al Wisserman Band playing their blues as well.
Oh, wonderful.
And he's just awesome. I just love him so much.
Oh, so do I.
So yeah, that should be a fun night.
Excellent. Now, I was under the misapprehension that WWW meant World Wide Web, but in fact I find out it means Whirlwind Worldwide Wellington tour of the New Zealand Fringe Festival from the Crimson Club. Is Shona still involved, by the way? Shona Jordan?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, she's our singer and violin player.
Excellent. Yeah. Great stuff. Really looking forward to that. So that is St Peter's, and that's coming up this Friday at 7 o'clock. That will be just wonderful with Al Witham and his
and his band. 8 o'clock, yeah.
Too right, and his Loose Dirty Paddle of Blues from Mr. Witham and his mates.
That's a very apt description, actually.
Now, what else is happening in the pirouetting Paekakariki?
So I just wanted to really thank the people that organised Waitangi Day.
Ah, yes.
It was just last week. I talked to Nigel in the morning. It was about to commence, and we were poised for this wonderful day, and it did turn out to be incredible. I mean, there must have been maybe 1,000 people there at its peak, and a really amazing lineup of musicians and entertainment and food, and just lots of people having a great time. Amazing water slide. But what was really incredible to see was there was a tent set up with Ngāti Haumea had set up some history and information notice boards. And lots of people were really interested in that. They were standing 3 deep, trying to peer over each other's shoulders to see these information boards. And the same was happening in the hall with a history display that the museum, the local station museum had put on. So there was just this real kind of reverence for the meaning of Waitangi Day as well. And the pulphuti was absolutely incredible. And the whole day was just, it was really outstanding. And a group of locals from the community put their hand up to do that, and they did it in about a month, and over Christmas as well. So just extraordinary, and with some incredible support from council staff as well. So I just want to really congratulate everybody who was involved and thank them for the huge amount of work that they put in. It was just wonderful.
And I know Holly was involved in that as well, but as you say, there were so many local people who put their shoulders to the wheel and really did the hard work, because this kind of thing, it doesn't happen overnight. It requires enormous amount of logistics and planning and phoning and nagging and, checking up and all of that kind of stuff. It takes ages.
It's incredible, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and the people who decorated the stage and the space and everything, that was pretty incredible too, very creative. But the community board, have to be thanked in particular as well, because they all pulled weight as well to do it. And Ngāti Haumea also really got behind, and it's really lovely to see that happen locally. So everybody kind of getting together. The school really got in behind as well, and it was just fantastic.
So it turned out to be a celebration.
Absolutely.
Which is wonderful. But I love the idea of those people learning as well, because there's so much to learn about our shared history. And, the more we know about that, the more it makes sense. So it's wonderful to talk to you, Janet. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. And perhaps we can do it again sometime.
106.3 Beach FM.